Welcome or welcome back to my channel, you guys. I have been working like this for a few months now. So little coffee table on a poof. Not only do I edit my YouTube videos here, I also work 20 to 25 hours for a company from home. So I'm kind of here a lot and it's not uncomfortable, but it's also not the most comfortable place to sit for a long period of time, which is why I felt that it was time for me to have a mini office. My partner and I don't have a lot of space in our apartment. We do have a second room, which is his office and yoga studio. And the reason that is just staying for him is because I have the downstairs basement all to myself for my workshop. That's kind of how we balanced out the spaces in our apartment. There's one tiny little corner of our soon-to-be lounge room, which is where I am at the moment, that will be perfect for a small office little nook for me. I am actually filming this before I do the lounge room makeover. However, those videos will come out first. I'll link those above for you anyway, but you guys will probably already have seen that. I'm kind of filming this introduction first because I want to paint strip a chair that I found on Facebook Marketplace. Someone has painted it green. I can see the shape is beautiful and I know that the natural wood will be beautiful as well. So I definitely want to get rid of that, which means I need to get changed, we need to get outside, and we need to use the sunshine time that we currently have. This is the chair that we're going to strip and then also reupholster. This is kind of not really attached at all, but we're gonna pop this aside for now and come back to it once this is all done. The paint stripper that I'm going to use today is circa 1850. I think that this might actually just be available in Canada, potentially in the US, but I'm pretty sure Australia and the UK don't have this one. There are loads of paint strippers out there, you just need to find the right one for you. I really like this, so we're going to apply it, obviously wearing gloves, using a little chip brush. And then I've got a metal tin here. It says on the instructions that you need to use a metal or foil tin, so I'm gonna follow the directions. Today is kind of the perfect day to do this because it's not too hot and the sun isn't too intense, but it's also not freezing cold. I'm not totally sure what kind of paint was used on this, but considering that it's already coming off, I'm assuming some sort of latex paint. Oh wow, just immediately after applying a tiny bit, it's already coming off. So, oh wow, look at that. Because there seems to be such an immediate response, I think I'm gonna do it in smaller sections. And I'm actually gonna use, for the very first time ever, it's like a maple scraper. They recommend it, so I wanna see how it works. And I think it's gonna be better, especially with the curves. It won't scratch the wood as much. Guys, it has been a couple weeks for me since I've worked on this project. Obviously just 2 seconds for you. The last thing you will have seen is me stripping the paint off this chair. But for me, in the past couple weeks, I've actually spent time making over my lounge room space, which is behind you guys at the moment. So I did a DIY lounge and then of course the sort of full makeover. We do need to keep going with this section of the makeover. I kind of want to get everything locked in as quickly as possible so that this space feels completely usable and homey and lovely and, you know, all the good things. Rather than continuing to work on this chair at the moment, I'm going to leave that as is with its lovely orange seat cushion. We'll come back to that in a little bit. First, I want to work on a wall partition here. Essentially, I'm sitting my desk against the fridge, but I don't want it to feel like it's against the fridge. So we're going to build that out of some 2x3s. I've got those downstairs. We first need to take a couple measurements and then cut all of the pieces that we're going to need for this wall divider. Because of the type of project this is, I didn't feel like I needed to get the best quality wood, so I ended up going with 2x3s, and all of these, which there's 10 2x3s by 8s, cost me $30. If I'd gone with a slightly higher quality, it would have cost me probably closer to $100 for this many boards, if not more. So it was definitely the right choice to make. I'm planning on painting this anyway, so it didn't need to have like the best quality. There's definitely some imperfections which we're gonna need to work around. We can leave and run away someday, someday. I've been saving you, and you save me too. To get these pieces in a slightly better condition, I did need to pop in some wood filler into some of the bigger gouges and gaps in each of the pieces. Then I gave it a sand. Now we're going to move on to painting these pieces. I picked up just a little pot of Bear paint in the color Cracked Pepper. It's such a lovely, like really dark gray color. I think it's the right shade for that space. Originally I was thinking of just going straight up black, but I don't think that that is the right color to go with. I think it would be too harsh. So we're going with this color here. I think the easiest way to get this on is to just give it a roll on. Oh, such a nice color. We've pretty much got all of the pieces here. Obviously there is a little bit of a gap. I changed my mind on how far apart I wanted these, so I did just pick up some more pieces, 3 more pieces of timber from Home Depot. So I will pop in those pieces after they've been painted and sanded and everything, but I'll do that all off camera. But now we're going to affix the pieces that are ready to the top and the bottom, and just make sure that everything fits in the space, because obviously we want it to fit. I'm going to start with the first and the last piece, and then we'll work our way through the pieces in the middle. So you remember when I said there's imperfections and we would have to find a workaround? There's definitely some imperfections which we're going to need to work around. Well, those imperfections caught up with me last night. I had kind of pieced together the frame very messily. It wasn't sitting flush. Now I don't have corner clamps, so that was probably part of the issue, but also the pieces of wood are a little bit askew anyway because it is the cheaper timber. And then when I decided, okay, I just want to see if it fits in the space, and I started to bring it upstairs with my partner, we realized that I couldn't get the frame through the door, so I had to pull it apart anyway. And when that happened, I decided I'm just going to change up the way that I'm piecing this together. I'm going to put it together on the wall, like actually do it here, and we're going with pocket holes instead because obviously I can't come in from the top. So last night I did try and do a little bit of problem solving and get this idea happening. I didn't film it because at that point I was very frustrated and I just needed to like hone my focus into figuring this out. But once I got it figured out, I put everything aside and we are now continuing today. So essentially that's how the process is going to work. Pop up a board, screw it in through the pocket holes, put in some plugs, and then paint, and we'll just move our way along. So yeah, let's get into it because I really want to see this wall actually happen. I think it's about time that we get back into refinishing this chair. I really want to be careful sanding this. I don't have a fancy sander. I just have, you know, my Bosch orbital sander. But because I do want to be careful, especially around the curves, I picked up this. It's kind of like a foam divider that sits in between my orbital sander and the sanding pad. Essentially, you just pop on, lining up the holes like that. And then you put your sanding paper on top, doing the same thing with the holes. So it creates a little bit more of a foam padding in between. I'm hoping that this just helps to sand the piece, get in around those curves, and also protect it at the same time.
Sometimes we act like a fool, not aware we're troublemakers. Sometimes we try to be cool, not being givers, only takers.
I've got this piece in the best place possible sanding wise, so we're now going to move on to the refinishing stage. And for that, we are going to be using tongue oil. Tongue oil is something that I haven't used before, but don't worry, I got all the tips from my dad. He has sort of talked me through the process of how to do this. He said it's a really forgiving option to do. It is also food safe, which is fantastic. Now you can actually get tongue oil that's 100% pure like this, and then you can get a version of tongue oil, which was what I found at most hardware stores, which is already kind of watered down a little bit. And I think both options are good. I went with the 100% pure, partly because my dad said it's better, and also partly so that I know what this is mixed down with, and so that at the end of this process I can actually do a 100% tongue oil to go over the whole piece. To start with, we're doing a 50-50 mix of the tongue oil and the turpentine, giving it a really good mix together, and then I'll go over the whole piece with that 50-50 mix. Once I've got that mix on, I will progressively work my way up to 100%. So the tongue oil needs a bit of time to cure, and when I say bit, I mean like potentially days. So I've just left that downstairs, and we're going to reupholster the seat cover now so that we can get rid of this orange. We are still gonna have orange, oddly enough. I got this on Spoonflower, but I actually know, not personally, the designer, but she's a Montreal designer, and her name is Hilary Jane. She's got a whole bunch of different things like pillows, candles, artwork, and then her fabrics are on Spoonflower, so that's why I ordered from there. And I just really liked it. I thought it was kind of funky. So I just need to pick where I want my pattern to sit, cut out a little square, and then we're going to cover this. Sorry, boss. First things first, we need to remove all of the staples from the back and get this orange cover off. I don't really want it to stay on there, so it's gotta go. To remove the staples, I'm just kind of like prying them up a little bit with a screwdriver, and then, excuse me Newton, and then I'm going to pull them out using these.
I know it's nothing new, but it's so good to see you. Do this every day, and I'm still so amazed by you.
I'm already getting a bit of a sneak peek of the fabric underneath, but let's take, oh no, there's one more staple. Oh, it's just like a little bit. It's always one more, always. Oh, never mind, there's 2 more. Come on, girl, get it together. I think that this might be the original fabric based on how it's put together at the back. I mean, someone could definitely have reupholstered this as seamlessly and nicely themselves. Yeah, that looks like that's the original cover, which makes me think that maybe if this is the original cover, these are probably vintage chairs, maybe from around the 60s, just like based on that kind of like patterning and color. I'd say 50s, 60s. I don't know, what do you guys think? 50s, 60s? Let me know in the comments below what era you think these chairs could be from. Okay, so we will use this as kind of like a rough guide for how big I need to cut my piece. I mean, it's all beautiful. I feel like I kind of want this, the middle part. Which is probably counterproductive when it comes to fabric saving, but I think I want the bit in the middle.
Can't believe you love me, oh, oh, oh. I just feel so lucky, oh, oh, oh. Still can't believe you love
And before I cut any more off, let's just have a little look-see.
me into your arms. Dancing up in the stars. Oh, where I'd rather be than with you.
She pretty. I love it. So now we just have to wait for the chair to cure. What do you think? Do you like it? No? Okay. She doesn't care. Good. I like it. I'm ready. I'm ready to have my little desk area all set up, ready to go. So, hello. I guess Newton's ready and excited too. So we're gonna pop everything into place. I've got this desk here that Newton is very graciously displaying for you guys. So we're going to pop that in place first. I will actually end up refinishing this desk at some point, probably over the Christmas break, and I'll refinish it with shellac. So I'll do a video on that at the time, but for now we're just gonna leave it because shellac takes a little bit of time and effort. So let's pop this into place. Newton, you might have to hop down, baby. What do you think? Yeah, maybe? Okay, well, we'll see. Let's pop it in place. Do you really want to be on here? We're not done? There we go. The chair has currently dried with the 2 coats of the tung oil that I put on. I will put on more coats, but for the moment we're just rolling with the 2. Obviously I want to get the video out, and you can see that there's a couple of spots that have dried out, so that's why we'll put on more coats. I will work my way up to 100%, but I haven't quite got there yet. It's a process, and I think with tung oil you do have to repeat it every couple of months or every 6 or 12 months whenever the wood actually needs a little bit more. So let's put the seat cushion on. We've got a couple of decor items that I did DIY for this project that we're going to pop in place. I do have a tutorial on how I did these DIYs, which will come out next week, so stay tuned for that. And if you're not subscribed, now's the time to subscribe. But we have here, it's a dictionary that I turned into a little drawer. I haven't quite finished this DIY yet. I need to still put like a little string so it can pull out. But essentially we've got this, and it's going to house my hard drives and any other little like bits and pieces that I need to go in there. I have a riser for my monitor, which I DIY using the cutoffs from the lounge legs when I DIY'd the lounge. I've created a little riser with that. I haven't decided if I want to paint it or stain it or leave it as is. So actually, if you guys can help me out, let me know what you think. Should I paint it the same kind of grey blue color as the petition behind here, or should I stain it? I'm unsure about the staining because there's a couple different like wood tones going on with the desk and the chair. I'm more inclined to paint it the grey color, I think. But let me know what you guys think. And then I have a corkboard that I've DIY'd using some of the fabric left over from the lounge, so I can have a little bit of a mood board going on, you know, in real life. So we're gonna pop those things in now and do a little reveal of how this space turned out. I have an office. I'm so happy that I've got a dedicated space where I can edit my YouTube videos, work for my job. It's just gonna make a huge difference to the way that I work, being inspired when I work, productivity, all of those things. I'm very happy. Obviously, need to get a little bit of action happening on my mood board and tidy up a couple more things like this table, which I will do in time. But I couldn't be more thrilled with this makeover. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's makeover. Definitely stay tuned for those DIYs next week. I think that they're really fun, and if you're not already, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and also like this video. And you can follow me over on Instagram as well. I'm on there. I will see you guys next week for another video. Bye guys. Hi! What do you think of my makeover, huh? You just see things that you can jump on and climb on and scratch, don't you? Do you want some food? Okay, let's go get some food. Come on. Stand up. Down. Do you want food or not?